Yeah, caviar, military.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is King David, David Goliath Music, beatclass.com, guardiac.com, mastermybeat.com. How you guys doing today? Doing good? Okay, so I have a quick and simple question to ask you. Are you a leader or are you a follower? Leader, follower. And the second part of this question is, if you're a leader, what kind of leader are you? And if you're a follower, what kind of follower are you? Okay, so I took the liberty to look up the definition of what the word leader means. And here's what it says. The first three. One that leads or guides, one who is in charge or in command of others, one who heads a political party or organization. But this is really cool. Right here under A, it says a conductor, especially of an orchestra, band, or choral group. That's pretty cool. All right. Now, I also looked up the word follower. Let's look at that up real quick. It says one who subscribes to a teaching or methods of another. Do you hear that? An adherent. Then it says a servant or a subordinate. And then the third one, which is really cool, is a fan or an enthusiast. And then fourth, it says one that imitates or copies another. So again, I ask you, what kind of person are you? A leader or a follower? Now, this guy was a leader. He had many followers. But look where they all ended up. So maybe following blindly is not the thing to do. As music producers, there's just so much information out there. There's so many people telling you what's right, what's wrong, what software to pick, what instruments to use, what beats to create, how or when you should use certain settings. There's just so much information. It's really hard to figure out who to follow. The other day, someone suggested to me that when mixing down in FL Studio, that I should not mix down at 32-bit float, because their exact words were that you only add noise and weight to the file, especially if you're using standard sound libraries. I checked their YouTube channel out, and there wasn't a single video of their music on YouTube. Beginning to get suspicious, maybe? So I checked it out for myself, and of course they condescendingly said, well, I'm not sure if you knew that. In other words, I know something you don't know, but I have no proof of it. So I'm just going to parrot and repeat what I heard someone else say. What kind of follower are you? Second part of the question. Do you question the people who put the information out there but have no proof? I do. And here's what I found.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I did a search to find out as much as I could about the quality, loss or gain of a 32-bit float rendering, I found every article pointed to the fact that you actually gain quality when you mix down at 32-bit float. Now, why would they have a 32-bit float function if it only deteriorated the audio? Okay, so that was the first step of my scientific test. And we can read here in this article, it says the theoretically audible advantage of this is that 32-bit floating point format retains the original noise floor and does not add noise. Okay, so I won't even stop there because that's not proof enough. That again is another opinion. So if I'm going to be a good follower, I'm going to have to actually question what has been given to me. And then after I question it, I'm going to have to put what I question to the test so I can verify it myself. This is called scientific verification. And this is what makes a good follower. And eventually, this is what makes a good leader. All of my courses online, guardiac.com, beatclass.com, I don't just give out information or drop bombs. What I do is I offer the proof, and then I give you the test that you can do for yourself to find out if this is true. We don't want a world of blind followers. But then again, the blind followers never make it anyhow. So maybe we do want them, and that would clear room for those of us who are willing to go through the scientific verification process. Okay, so let's look at how I verified it scientifically. So now we're ready to do the scientific verification. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a small loop and we're going to render them, one in 16-bit, two in 32-bit. And we're going to look at a graph and see if there's any signal loss. Okay, here we go. So here's the small clip. Great. Let's go ahead and render that down. Export wave file. I'm going to give it the title 16 so I can find it really easy. And then hit save. Now we're going to go ahead and render this down. And we'll just wait till this processes. Thank God this is not a lot of audio, so it should go pretty quickly. All right, and after this, we're going to save it in 32-bit. Then we're going to use the best tool ever. The best tool ever. I mean, forget about software, graphs, and all this stuff. It's right here. See that? It was made by like the best software designer ever, and it's the best tool still, is your ear. Okay, so now we're going to render the next one in 32-bit. We're going to type 32 so that we can easily find that one. 32. Hit save. Starts the render. Alright, cool. Now we're going to open that up in another software and we're going to look at the screen and see what the quality loss or gain is. Alright, check it out. Okay, so here we are. We've opened these two files. We have the 16-bit version and the 32-bit version. And we have an analysis of our frequency. And what we can do is put each signal on hold and we can see a frozen picture of the audio and we can see exactly what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play a portion of the 16-bit and we're going to see what happens with the signals. Here we go. Okay, what I did was I frozen a piece of the audio. Alright, and you can see that's represented by the red line. Now we're going to go to the 32-bit and we're going to do the same thing. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. We have a scientific proof of what is going on with the audio. So the red equals my 16-bit and the orange equals my 32-bit. Okay, so now that we have our frozen picture, we can see that the 16-bit is going to be my red line and the 32-bit is going to be my orange line. Now, I can see that my orange line offers me a little bit better representation of the audio. The red line is going to be a little bit more degraded. Degraded in the sense that I have more bottom, and the roll-off is a little bit more dramatic on the high end. Okay, so I would much rather be mixing that 32-bit float than that 16-bit. So it's a simple, clear, scientific proof that I proved to myself. I used my ears, and I studied. This is what I encourage each and every one of you to do. But then again, the choice is always yours. What kind of follower or leader are you? First off, the question is, are you a leader or are you a follower? I would say that we're going to be a follower and a leader throughout our whole lives. But the question comes down to what kind of follower you are. Are you a blind follower? Or are you an informed follower? And what kind of leader are you? Are you a dictator? Or are you a person who inspires others to go and seek information and knowledge for themselves? I've already made my choice. The choice is yours. Let's talk about it. Put your information down below. And let's keep making music. I'm King David for David Live Music, beatclass.com, mastermybeat.com, can'tstop.com. GettingDown.com. Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. I just got taken over by the hip hop bug. I'll talk to you later. One love, King David. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Caviar, military majesty, silhouette, frontal nudity, campaign, false dichotomy, get on top of me, ain't nobody stopping me. Tops.